Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Litany of Catholic Martyrs for June 14th. As always, make sure you pray for those families who had loved ones who were martyred on Easter Sunday in Sri Lanka. I do this mission in this ministry in order to bring to mind the martyrs of the Catholic Church. It is my opinion that Christ, the Triune Godhead, Father, Son, Holy Spirit is first and always foremost. Then is our Blessed Mother. Then are the saints. And then are the martyrs, the blood of the Church, the foundation of the Church, the perfection of the Church, manifest in humanity through sacrifice. And I believe that, but it seems that for whatever reason, it's kind of become an obscure teaching or an obscure people. Listen, there are martyrs for every day, saints for every day, and many of them were martyred. But for whatever reason, the clergy, bishops and priests and religious for that matter, do not mention the martyrs. I think because it has to deal with death. And nobody wants to talk about dying. Everybody thinks they're going to live forever. And they're not. So with that being said, I do this in order to keep their memory alive and what they do alive. So let's begin. At Caesarea in Cappadocia, the consecration of St. Basil, bishop and doctor of the Church, who was eminent for learning and wisdom in the time of the Emperor Valens, being adorned with every virtue. He was a great light in the Church, and defended her with admirable constancy against the Arians and Macedonians. The Arians were a sect that believed that God created Jesus, and they were not consubstantiated. They were not the same. They were not a triune Godhead, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. I have a link on this in my YouTube video that you can click on, and there's a brother there who explains exactly what Arianism is, who they are, and how it was defeated, the Nicene Council and things like that. Also, the Macedonians, also known as pneumotomachi, in Greek means holy fighter of the Spirit, fighter of the Holy Spirit, or combatants of the Holy Spirit. What they believed was that the Holy Spirit was also created, and it was not manifested from the Father and the Son, and as a separate entity, and as such was subservient. These two beliefs were third and fourth century. Saint Athanasius, Saint Alexander, and they were the ones who fought against this. If you combine these two, when there's no Holy Spirit, if the Holy Spirit is not God, and that Jesus is not God, then what you get is a basis or a foundation for Islam. And this is what the Muslims believe. They may believe that they believe that Jesus Christ is just a prophet. They don't believe in the Blessed Mother at all. I mean, they don't even mention her, and we know how they feel about women. So, listen to the brother about the Arians. It's very interesting. Anyway, let's continue. At Samaria, in Palestine, the holy prophet Eliseus, whose grave says, Saint Jerome makes the demons tremble. With him rests also the prophet Abdias. At Syracuse, St. Marcion Bishop, who was made bishop by Blessed Peter, and killed by the Jews after he had preached the gospel. At Soissons, the holy martyrs Valerius and Rufinus, who, after enduring many torments, were condemned to be beheaded by the governor Rictovarus in the persecution of Diocletian. At Cordoba, the holy martyrs Anastasius, priest, Felix, monk, and Dina, virgin. At Constantinople, Saint Methodius, bishop. At Vienne, Saint Aetherius, bishop. And finally, at Rhodes, Saint Quincian, bishop. You know, You hear about all these bishops who sacrifice themselves. I wonder now, you hear all this stuff that's going on. I mean, you hear what's going on in Fresno, California today, and what's going on with these bishops and how they're hiding. They're called to be heroes of this faith. They're called to be heroes for God. Would they do it now? Would they be a Saint Methodius, Saint Aetherius, Saint Quincian? I don't think they would. They would not sacrifice themselves for the love of the church. They can barely keep the commandments. Anyway, thank you all for listening. Remember these men, women, and children many times who sacrificed their blood for the church. And in doing so, as the martyrs grow, and as the martyrs sacrifice, so goes the church. God bless all of you. Thank you for listening.